Supporting footage. It's a giant part of storytelling, and I guess your question is, well, what is it exactly? If I had to put it into description, I would say that it's the art of telling a story through a camera lens. And at this point, it doesn't matter what piece of equipment you're using. When it comes to the art of it, it's how are you capturing it, or how are you utilizing it to help mold and tell a better story for the viewer's entertainment purposes, to keep them watching and to make them want to watch more. And really, I think that's the trick, especially nowadays. Anybody can watch something once, but it's so easy to click the mouse onto the next video and move away. So how do you retain that viewer, and how do you keep them watching? And I'm a firm believer that supporting footage is a huge factor when it comes to that. If you think about watching any television show or movie, and if we want to, we can just talk about outdoor television. And if you find yourself watching something where you think it's kind of boring, I want you to pay attention to what it is that you're watching. And my guess is it's probably something that is very static. Meaning maybe somebody is standing there talking to you or talking to the camera for minutes on end without breaking away and showing you what it is they're talking about. I always go by, if you say it, make sure you show it. That kind of mentality for you as the cameraman or the producer, I think, is going to be one that's going to help you capture more content to help support what it is you're talking about. To put you into a scenario as if you were filming me and we were getting ready to go out on a hunt this afternoon. If I was to look at the camera and say, boy, you know, it's a beautiful day here in late October. The leaves are falling. You know, that pressure system just moved out. It's that right time of year where these bucks are starting to, starting that seeking phase. And it just couldn't be a better afternoon to climb in a tree and get after these whitetails. It's that time of year we live for, and what better time of year to do it? And I've got the perfect stand, perfect wind. Everything is looking right for tonight, and I'm excited to get up in a tree. Let's say that was my lead into the hunt, and you've just captured that. Well, your job as the cameraman or the field producer is to sit behind that lens and soak up everything that I just said. So that way you can, in your mind, put together a list, a shot list of all the shots you need to go get to support what it is I just said. So test yourself at home. Did you listen to what I just said? Did you make any mental notes to some of the things I pointed out about how great of an evening it was, or how excited I was to get in a tree? If you did, then you're a step ahead of the game. But if you didn't, continue watching, because what we're going to try and do is help mold your brains and help you think about acting like a sponge and think more like a field producer. I believe that there's two types of supporting footage, okay? And we're going to address those two types in this video. The first set of videos that we're going to show you is a scenario where you were going out filming a piece. I'll call it a stage scenario. And this particular one is one that Nick and I filmed for OnX Hunt. And we had landed a new piece of property to hunt, and we were going out scouting. And basically, we were doing a video on how we were using the OnX Hunt app to help improve our experience of scouting this new piece of property. So we're going to show you two clips. The first one is going to be Nick addressing the camera and talking about what we're doing with no supporting footage. So what I want you to do is sit at home and watch and listen to what Nick is saying, and make yourself a little list of some of the shots that you could get to help support this next piece.
Well, we got a brand new piece of property this year, and we're very excited, to say the least. We've checked out OnX on the computer, and this past week is our first time walking it. So we put the boots to the ground. We marked a few trees for tree stands. We hung, I think, 3 trail cameras. So it's middle of the day now. We're gonna slip out of here, come back this afternoon, and we're gonna glass it for the first time. So we're excited. Open day's right around the corner. We'll see what we have.
Well, hopefully you've got yourself a nice little list of shots that you would have gone out and got. Now, I will say that there's no right or wrong answer here. If the shots you've chosen will help support what it was that Nick said in that video, then your answers will be right and your shots will match. But now we're going to show you what we came up with. In this next piece, you'll see the same exact video with the supporting footage shots that we chose to get on that day.
Well, we got a brand new piece of property this year, and we're very excited, to say the least. We've checked out OnX on the computer, and this past week is our first time walking it. So We put the boots to the ground. We marked a few trees for tree stands. We hung, I think, 3 trail cameras. So it's middle of the day now. We're gonna slip out of here, come back this afternoon, and we're gonna glass it for the first time. So we're excited. Open day's right around the corner. We'll see what we have.
So hopefully this is starting to make a little bit more sense to you as to what exactly supporting footage is. Now, when I mentioned there was 2 different types, that particular type, in my opinion, is the type of supporting footage that when you record a piece of video, let's say in that case somebody talking, you absorb that information and then you go out and capture the footage needed to support that scene. What I'm about to show you now isn't necessarily the same thing. Sometimes you have a story that you'd like to tell. Maybe you want to do it through an interview where you tell someone a story. Maybe you do it through voiceover where you're recording that voiceover in a studio and then dropping in footage to support that story that you're telling the viewer. Whatever the case may be, this type of supporting footage, in my opinion, is ones where you may dig back into the archives and find old video, old photos, maybe from as far back as 20 years ago. It doesn't have to be current. What content can you reach into the archives and grab that will help tell this story better to the viewer so that they're visually entertained and they want to watch more? This next piece I feel is a great example of that. It's a piece that happened to be in one of our Become One episodes. It's a piece that's dear to my heart and a story that I'll never forget, and I was proud to be able to share with everyone at home. This was a place where my daughter was first introduced to hunting.
Daddy! Hey, baby! Oh.
What are we going to do?
Gonna put share camera.
It's a place where I got my first taste at doing any kind of land management. Having the opportunity to clear and plant your own food plots.
G5. Yeah.
And then watching them grow right there along with my daughter. And it was something that I got to do alongside of my dad. And it was a place that I got to share with my family and my closest friends.
Yeah, it's big enough.
A lot of lifelong memories were made here, and of course a few hunts of my own that I'll never forget.
He didn't go nowhere. There, he didn't go here or something.
My dad happened to be at a point in his life where he was looking to downsize and ready to move on. And for us, that meant it was time to close that chapter in our lives, and it was time for a change. So there you can see, I reached back into the archives. I showed some stuff that we had done at my dad's place for over the years. You kind of watched my daughter grow over several years there in that short piece. And for me, it's very special, it's timeless, and it's something that I'll remember forever. But to me, it was a story I wanted to tell, and I knew the words I wanted to use. But I had to dig back and find all the footage, not necessarily go out and shoot it right then and there. So just a different way to use supporting footage in your productions to help bring them to life and help the viewer at home connect a little bit more with you who's telling the story. That's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to supporting footage. In the on-site courses and events, we spend hours on this topic, both in the classroom and out in the field. It's one that I think once you learn and you utilize, that will just become part of your everyday production. It's something that no production should go without, in my opinion. Supporting footage, just the beginning, but I promise you it's going to improve your productions.